We had other very talented art students that were doing the time-lapse photography. And in doing the time-lapse photography, they were able to show the clients in different moods. I had seen these clients, they'd given me albums of themselves in their younger years and prior to their strokes. And this woman, I don't believe, had taken such a joyous picture, if I may say, in many years, because her other pictures were of herself when she was, let's say, well, or prior to her stroke. Here, we're able to engage her, and we're able to see that she was very engaged in this situation as well. And it was a two-way situation. And she has a tremendous joie de vivre, or joy of life, that's captured here. This is property of all the clients, of course, and donated to us as a contribution and give back to the aphasia community so that other groups could be formed similarly. Another example of the outcomes of this semester-long program. At the end of the semester, say we started September, by December, January, the students had produced another photographic display. And here we have a client who, again, taught us very much, had a stroke due to a different situation, non-traditional type of history, and was able to participate extremely well in the project, as you can see. This is a different type of an approach. We had also client-generated art. In this particular one, it was done through blow art. Now think of some of the clients that you either know of, or you yourself, if you have physical, oral, motor problems, and strength problems. This was done through blow art, like taking a straw and with paint, blowing on a canvas. And you have to blow at different strengths in order to get the pattern and in order to get the up-down orientation and so forth. So we took the client to the studio, to an art studio where we had hung these canvases, and the clients were able to blow the art themselves. And this is one example of a creation by a client instructed by the art student. So there is a collaboration then of the art as well as the speech and actual physical motor exercise. We have a few more such as this.
That's amazing.
You like it, Christine?
Yeah.
I like that one as well. It was just fantastic for us. Some of the clients had different duration, different physical respiratory capacities. So you can see this client also engaged in blow art, but his particular production is maybe not as strong, but he would get more experience the more art that we did. And so here is another astute example of the creation. No language, all creation in the mind, all resting of the left side, as you know, all the speakers were talking about this morning. And we had another one, I believe. Okay, this is a different type of situation. Another art student came to us and said, I want to do something collaboratively. And you know, remember in the old days we used to do tie-dye when we were hippies. And so now they still do that apparently, but they do it in different ways. And she taught the clients. Each client had an individual kerchief, and individual paints, individual patterns, that she taught the clients how to produce their own tie-dye art. And then, of course, it's stretched and it's framed. All of these were treated as classical art pieces. They were not treated as an arts and crafts project. These were treated as, this is going to be professionally hung, this is going to be professionally exhibited. And so this is one example. When we displayed it, I told you about the curator, so she displayed them in ways in which she felt that it would maximize the art. And they were all displayed with explanations very similar to you would see in any of the hallways here where they have museum displays. Another artistic function was the media. So this young woman worked on internet photography. And so she was able to make this was a postcard invitation to the exhibit. And she was able to represent all of these different digital photographs, and the way she selected them and actually took the portraits and placed them was her contribution to the art project. And it was our way of announcing the project to the community so that we can invite people. So publicity and knowledge about what it means to be in an aphasia group, what it means to be in a creative aphasia group, and how to raise community awareness were all part of this function. And this was her contribution, which helped get the word out. Another fascinating piece that came from this is one of the students was a jewelry maker. So her art contribution was to develop a really gorgeous necklace and many other necklaces like this, and she has her own line of jewelry made of aquamarine. And she explained to me that she studied it to be a healing stone. And when she showed us this, of course we all wanted it. And it's one example of her healing jewelry that was created by virtue of her coming to the group and learning about speech pathology and stroke and aphasia. And this was her interpretation of that experience. We all fell in love with this, and this became the centerpiece of the display, as you'll see downstairs. And it's still on display in the Director's Clinic. And this is a colleague of mine who's a senior colleague at the college, and her name is Dr. Ann Jablon. She is somebody who is the Director of Communication Science at the college. She's been the director for many years. And it was with her vision and her generosity of spirit that I was allowed to develop this project, because I came in, I'm a regular speech pathologist. I could have just run a traditional program. But instead, she allowed it to take wing, and I wish to congratulate her. Well, she's not here with us today, but she is definitely somebody who has a great vision in this field.